Do you recognize that tune? That's the theme song from the Acoustic Guitar magazine podcast. A few weeks back, they interviewed me for the podcast. I'm not sure when that episode will air, but I'll let you know here when it does. And then just a couple days ago, they wrote to me and asked if I would be up to arrange and record my own version of the theme song for the show. And they would air it in my episode. I said, yeah, that's a cool idea. They also told me that some other artists had done it as well. I think it's a really fun idea. They sent me, Eric Bibb did like a kind of a Travis picking version of it. Mimi Fox did a really swinging jazz arrangement. Tommy Emmanuel did what Tommy Emmanuel does. And I said, yeah, sure, I'm up for it. So they sent me this sheet music and said, do whatever you want with it. And I said, okay. So started to read it as it's written. And pretty quickly I realized that if I played the melody in that octave, I was going to be limited in how much harmony I could put underneath it, because that's fairly low down. The chords that they've written here, A minor, D7, G, and so on, like, it's not, those aren't meant to be played literally, unless you have two guitar players, you could do that. They're just the suggested harmony. The harmony is A minor, D7, G, E minor, and so on. So it made sense to me if I was going to have, chords underneath the melody, which I wanted to do. It's solo guitar after all. It should be, we don't always have to have harmony. We can just play melody, but harmony should there should be some possibility, some opportunity for harmony. So I decided to take the melody up an octave, and I messed around with that a little bit, but I found that when I was playing it up here and trying to get chords underneath it, I was moving around a lot. It was a lot of grips, a lot of movement. And then it hit me, gosh, the song is in G. Why not tune to open G tuning? Which is what I did. So that's D, G, D, G, B, D. 3 strings are just like standard tuning. 3 strings are dropped. High E down to D, low E down to D, and A down to G. I thought maybe that would give me some possibilities. So then now the melody is here. Right, like one thing you lose in open G tuning is an easy low A. Like if we were in standard tuning, you could have the open A for the A minor chord, but we don't have that in G tuning. So I grabbed it here. I suppose you could grab it low if you wanted to. But I wanted to start the arrangement with things kind of a little smaller, not a big spread out sound. So a little smaller, and with the harmony more suggested than completely filled out. That gives us some place to go. The tune is only 16 bars long, and if we start with full chords from the top, then kind of painted ourselves into a corner. So I did this. Now you've got this nice open D. So for that G chord, just all G. A real E minor triad going on. Now I wanted it to get a little more rich. So now really spelling out chords. So I walked from G through G major 7 down to G7. And then I thought, hey, let's take it down an octave, and now it can be a little richer. And I didn't realize till I was tabbing this out for for you guys, like when I did this for acoustic guitar, they didn't ask me to tab it out. They just wanted a recording. But I woke up this morning and thought, gosh, I should make a lesson out of this. This might be like a real world lesson of like, here's a tune, here's my arrangement, here's the thought process. So when I was tabbing it out, I realized I could have played the D in measure 8. Because the first string is D. But I played it like this on the recording. So that's how I did it in the tab. If you like it open, that's great. You could also use the open D there if you like. Or that's really pretty. I don't know why I didn't think of that. It's too late. I already sent it to them. And then this is the one place where I went away from just using straight pick. Here I'm hybrid picking. So B minor. You could do that with the pick, but it felt a little blup 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 to me. So to keep that clean, I'm using thumb, or rather pick, middle, and ring. Yeah, once we're down here, I liked having this bass line. I keep playing B where I want it to be, but it's not there, it's here. So, like, really let that G land. There's a pickup, so there's space for it. Like, you could even start to slow down slightly there so that this is really like an answer, like a call and response thing. So what is that chord? I don't know. My hands just grabbed it when I was arranging this. It's some kind of C something. And then this last G chord, just like that. So I hope that you will enjoy playing this, and I hope that this is an insightful lesson on arranging. I didn't break it down step by step by step because I didn't want this just to be too long and meandering, which is, full disclosure, that's really how the creative process is. At least for me, it's a little bit of going down some, things that turn out to be dead ends, and it's a little bit of just stumbling onto a chord that sounds good because my hand just went there. It's a little bit of trying to do something on a deadline. It's a little bit of all the music I've ever played or heard. So I didn't want to over-explain my own process, but I'm telling you that it was all these things because I want you to know if you start arranging something and you run into something that feels like a dead end and you think, oh gosh, I'm an idiot. You're not an idiot. That's just part of the process. So try things, fail, go back, start over, try different tuning, try using a pick, try using a different, hybrid or regular, whatever. Try different things, see what works. You don't always have an opportunity to hear what other people have done. This was fun that they let me hear these other arrangements. If I had just gone from scratch, would I have done anything differently? I don't know. One thing I do know is that when I was working on this and hadn't worked out the open G and the I hadn't quite gotten to where it is now. I took a break and checked my text messages. I do not recommend doing this when you're working on music, but I did that. And I heard from a friend that the great guitar player David Lindley had passed away. And I thought about a tune that he recorded called Looks So Good, that he played lap style with a bar. That's not really what I do, but in an open tuning lap style with a bar, this way of going up and down one string instead of trying to do it in a position and doing it in open tuning, I think a little bit came to me in thinking about David Lindley. So I'm going to include here a link to his recording of Looks So Good as well.